PhilVlog, out here at Philmont. So I'm not actually at Philmont, but I was at Philmont, and let me explain. You can probably read the origami off the shelf because in the intro, because that was filmed in 4K, which was why I was running. It turned out I filmed the trailer in 2.7K because I wanted to do the zoom out like I did in this one, but I didn't want to deal with 4K file, and then I just filmed the whole thing in 2.7K, so kind of defeated the purpose. But welcome to PhilVlog 16. I'm also forgot to note, I'm doing this again from the trailer, I'm using a mic that isn't the onboard camera mic, so hopefully it sounds a little bit better. I thought it did. I also think the fake Philmont clip came out really great. Oh, 1 second. No, we didn't have Coke at Philmont. I just thought that was funny. I filmed that while I was still at college, and I just finished unpacking last weekend, which is why there's suitcase. A lot of loose ends that I want to tie up. Why is the bed in front of the door? What's right there? Final PhilVlog. I'm just going to go through questions and answers, and then I would say director's commentary, but it's really just going to be a commentary because I'm not rewatching all of them, at least not in this video. So the first question, why aren't there more Philmont vlogs on YouTube? My answer to that is my Philmont journal. Photos and plans show when and where, but this can show how I was doing. So I made the vlog to record what I was doing and when, and then I wrote in here to record how I was doing. So it'll always be special to me that it records my personal experience, but it was definitely a mental weight that I had to carry to plan out each episode and make sure I was filming enough for each day. The plan wasn't always to post them, and I'll get into that more later. But in a nutshell, Philmont is really hard, and the vlog is something not essential that you're carrying, and that's why I think a lot of them become inconsistent, because it takes some mental processing capacity that's already kind of under strain based on everything else that you're doing. How did I make my Philmont vlog? It helped a lot that I had already gone once because I knew what to expect more. I filmed everything on my GoPro Hero 7 Black. And I just wanted a camera that wouldn't break at Philmont, and GoPro's just about the best for that description. And now it's hailing on us. Oh, here's one. Oh, one hits the GoPro. In terms of storage, I had one 64 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme. And just keep in mind that I did the resolution's now 720 instead of 1080. I'm sorry, but I only have an hour and 20 minutes left on the card and 6 days. So if you filmed exactly how I did, the card filled up literally on the last word of the last Philmont hymn. Storage is probably the thing that I did the worst at. In terms of power, there's the GoPro comes with a battery, and then I had bought these 3 My Boat off-brand batteries. I've never had an issue with off-brand stuff. That's just my personal preference, though. And then I also had this My Charge. I think it was called Amp Max when it came out. It's the equivalent. I looked up on their site. Now they have something called the Adventure Plus, which is the same storage and the same price. So that must be the upgraded version of that. And also, of course, I had the charging cord, just USB-C, to be charging it while I was on the trail. Oh, also, in terms of mounts, I had bendy tripod. I just bought this for like $20 at Target. It was a really good deal considering the versatility that comes with having a bendy tripod. Basically, anytime the GoPro wasn't in my hand, it was on this thing somewhere. So this, and then while the GoPro's onboard mic isn't always the best, I
can only imagine what the audio sounds like right now. I'm so sorry.
Digital stability definitely saved the vlog. Some of the clips I know get a little bit shaky sometimes, but it would be so much worse if they weren't being stabilized. So I really got to hand it to them. It's an amazing feature. It really is as good as they say it is. For comparison, here's what it looked like on my last GoPro, Hero 3 White, no stability.
We made it!
It's kind of funny how it looks almost like episode 11 or 12, just any of the ones, really any of the walking montages. Stylistically very similar, but that's the only clip from 2015 that's actually similar to the new stuff at all. I also knew we were going to be spar pole climbing, so I brought the hand mount. Goes on your hand like this. That was just because for a very specific purpose. And then while we were in Colorado, I had a chest mount for whitewater rafting. You could also use a head mount, but just the tricky thing there is how to attach it to the helmet. But some of the helmets already had the quick clip release for GoPros on them. I don't know, it would really depend on where you raft through, if you even go at all. That's not something you're going to be doing if you're only going to Philmont. Our council just books that to help us get used to the elevation. I think that was... I also used my phone to film, which is an iPhone XR. I don't know if you could see it while I was a little lower. That's also what's recording the audio for this episode. Personally, I didn't want to bring my phone on the trail because I didn't want it to break. I know Julia on the contingent crew filmed a really good vlog on her phone. So it is definitely possible, but just wasn't my personal preference. Also, most of the shots, almost all of the shots across all the episodes are just from either the GoPro or my phone, with the exception of about 3, which were on Matt's Nikon Coolpix B600 from spar pole climbing. He just had a better angle. So I thought they would help establish what was happening for the viewer. And then also Carter's Canon 80D helps introduce and then conclude the vlog. So sort of a follow-up question that I jumped over. But why is Philmont so hard? So maybe you've been hiking before or even backpacking. In my experience, the thing that simulates doing it 12 days in a row is doing it 12 days in a row. Just that routine, doing it over and over of getting up and then taking down camp and hiking somewhere and maybe doing some activities and then setting it up and then going to sleep and repeating that just over and over. There's kind of little room for error. If you don't have the right gear, it's not like there's a store usually that you can stop at. Things like that. If you didn't break in your boots, you'd find out really fast, and it doesn't matter how much you want to break them in, then they're going to kind of hurt your feet. Philmont is definitely the most challenging thing I've ever done, especially the second time, for the weight of responsibility of just being the crew chief and being responsible for making sure the big picture was moving in the right direction. And a couple other general Philmont notes. We were itinerary 21. I'll put in a screenshot from the itinerary guidebook. We had such a rough couple of first days that I guess they just decided to eliminate that one entirely because it is not an option for 2020. Why did I wear the same shirt every day? It's a good one. It's just it's in 2 words, it's a sun shirt. It's synthetic, so it's wicking and all that, but I didn't feel like putting on sunscreen all the time since you're under trees a good amount of the time. So if we were on the open, I would put on a little bit, but then long sleeves and long pants and hat were my solution. Especially because we only had opportunity to shower once, and there was no hot water, so I just didn't want to because it was also on the 3rd day of our trek. So instead I just blocked the sun instead of having to sleep in the sunscreen and stuff. North versus south. I've said it a couple times, but I never really explained it. So here's Philmont with our trek highlighted on it. This is where the fire was. Good times. I feel nostalgic right now. So usually the thing that breaks them up is the Tooth of Time Ridge, which is right above base camp, so right about here. The south has water, but with that come flies. It's also a lot shadier, which is nice. The north is a lot more canyons as opposed to the forests of the south. And the north is also a lot drier. So it's not that there's no water, it's just that you have to be a little more strategic when you're filling up. So some of the big peaks in the north is Baldy, and then also you can go to Little Costilla, versus the south has sort of the Tooth of Time. You used to be able to hike both of them, but as long as the fire is recuperating, that's not going to be on treks. I was in the south the first time I went, and I was in the north the second time. I just wanted to point that out. Also, Cypher's Mine is in the south. It has the best water by far. The water in the north kind of tastes a little funny, as I mentioned a couple times, but it's definitely potable. Palatable might be a different story. I'm going to make a segment called Water of Philmont. Out here at Poniel, there's some literal milk right now. Sister crew versus contingent crew. A sister crew is a crew that has the same itinerary as you at the same time. So ours was from Iowa, and we saw them in all the camps we stayed at. And then contingent crew is another crew sent by your council on the same day. Our council usually sends about anywhere from 2 to 4 crews a day for a couple months. And so our contingent crew, we saw them in Colorado, and they had Trek 13, so we saw them at Miranda, which is definitely one of the highlights of my trek. It's just fun to be close with them because we saw them on the way there and on the way home, but they were not our sister crew. Why BX? So if you look at my channel name, Brian Axelson, just shortens to BX, kind of a logical nickname. I titled some of my vlog tests that as a joke, and then it just kind of kept doing that, so yeah, that's why they start that way. Now it's just a tradition, so I can't change it. Why BA 2019 if they were posted in 2020? They're all filmed in 2019, and then also most of them were edited last year, not this year. Speaking of editing, everything was edited in iMovie. I kind of know Premiere, and I'm going to be learning it more, but I already knew iMovie, and I didn't have access to Premiere when I started editing, so I just finished them all in iMovie. I did the 4th one, and then this 8th, and then the 9th, which is why those ones kind of feel a little bit different than the ones around them, because they were just the first few that I did. There wasn't, as I mentioned a little bit before, it was not always the plan to post them. Just usually when I would show people, that was a response I would get. And then also with posting them, it just made them a lot easier to share. And then also the dream there is, if people are preparing, I tried to be give as realistic of a portrayal as I could, and I tried to be really thorough in that. So hopefully it helps people prepare for the places that they'll be going. I've seen even just a couple comments make it all worth it. So again, thank you for all the support of the vlogs. It really does mean a lot. Why did I leave my boots? Well, first off, that's tradition, but my boots are on my feet. Something else I forgot to show was put a New Mexico brand on my wallet from Philmont. Place really does change you, so it's nice to carry a little piece of the trek with me wherever I go. So before Carter knew how the vlog was going to end, he predicted it would end at my desk, and after all, that is where it all started, with this exact shirt. Not even a joke, I just thought that was kind of funny. I found it the other day. I really can't understate how phenomenal of an experience it is. I've milked basically all the content possible out of it now, but really the only way to experience it is to go. And with that, we were going back, we went back, and it changed my life again. And in a way, you got to be there for it through the lens of the vlog. So thanks for watching.